There is a story the public has seen and a story that lies beneath. The version shared in press statements, measured public statements, and composed appearances only scratches the surface of what is truly unfolding. Most people have admired the grace shown during a crisis, labeling it strength. Yet the full depth of this tragedy is rarely understood. Behind the carefully controlled exterior lies a profound personal torment, invisible to cameras and headlines. What appears as poise is actually layered pain, a complex mix of fear, love, and lifelong conditioning, all colliding in the worst moment of a person's life. A life of achievement. At 54, Savannah had achieved a level of professional recognition few attain. She had built a career marked by resilience, intelligence, and dedication, navigating challenges that would have derailed others. She balanced a demanding career while raising children, maintaining an image that was both relatable and authoritative. Every day, she performed at an extraordinary level, blending humanity with professionalism seamlessly. For most people, 54 is a time of reward, of enjoying the results of decades of hard work. Savannah had reached a pinnacle where the proving should have ended, but life had other plans, introducing a sudden and unimaginable personal crisis. February 1st, the day everything changed. Everything shifted on February 1st, 2026. Savannah's mother, Nancy, was discovered missing from her home. Law enforcement confirmed a kidnapping, revealing a terrifying reality no family ever anticipates. Nancy, at 84, relied on daily heart medication, making her disappearance immediately life-threatening. The public saw composed statements and calls for calm, but privately, Savannah faced the unthinkable. Her mother's survival was counting down hour by hour. Every minute without medication increased the risk to Nancy's health. For Savannah, this knowledge created a tension between public composure and private fear that few could endure, marking the start of a layered, relentless tragedy. Public composure, private terror. From that moment, Savannah's life split into two worlds. In public, she maintained composure, delivered measured statements, and engaged with the investigation responsibly. She presented herself as calm, in control, and dignified. Behind closed doors, however, she lived in constant fear for her mother's life. The knowledge that each passing moment could worsen her mother's condition was a private torment she bore silently. Functioning under such extreme stress is extraordinary. The public might interpret it as strength, but it is also a form of deep, unrelenting grief compounded by fear, a dual existence few will ever truly understand. The physical layer of tragedy. The most visible layer of this tragedy is the physical risk to Nancy's life. At 84, she has a heart condition requiring strict medication adherence. Her health depends on precise timing and consistent care. Being forcibly removed from her home put her in immediate danger, creating a physiological countdown no family should endure. Savannah understood this danger from the moment she learned of the kidnapping. Each hour represented a mounting threat, yet she continued to fulfill public obligations. The interplay of fear, uncertainty, and responsibility created a crisis that was simultaneously urgent and deeply painful, emphasizing the relentless pressure she faced. The psychological weight. Yet, there is another layer, less visible but equally devastating. Savannah did not encounter this crisis unprepared. She had been shaped to handle extraordinary pressure. Her upbringing instilled the belief that vulnerability is weakness, and pain must be managed with composure. This philosophy, absorbed over a lifetime, became the framework for her identity. Every act of strength, every measured statement, was both instinctive and learned. The tragedy is that this preparation, meant to ensure success and resilience, also reinforced an internal hunger for unconditional validation. Even in her professional triumphs, she has quietly searched for the reassurance she still craves. Lifelong questions. This hidden hunger asks a question Savannah has carried for decades. Am I enough? Not for the audience, the workplace, or society, but for the person whose opinion matters most, her mother. It is a question that has accompanied her achievements, guided her composure, and silently shaped her identity. Even at 54, facing the worst moment of her life, this question persists. The tragedy is that the person who can answer it, her mother, is absent. The very foundation of her emotional world, the reassurance she has longed for, is unavailable, leaving her to navigate fear, grief, and public scrutiny simultaneously. The role of learned strength. The pressure to perform in times of crisis is not merely a response to circumstance, it is a learned survival mechanism. Savannah's upbringing emphasized that love required invincibility. This lesson, taught thoroughly and internalized completely, meant that showing vulnerability was equated with weakness. Her ability to appear composed in public is therefore not only a demonstration of skill, but also a continuation of the lessons she absorbed as a child. While it has enabled her professional success, it has also intensified personal pain, as the very mechanism that protects her in public makes the private wound deeper and lonelier. A daughter's silent pain. The profound sadness of this moment lies in its quiet intensity. While the public witnesses resilience and professional grace, the private pain is largely invisible. Savannah's longing for her mother's reassurance remains unmet. Her mother, the source of unconditional love and the answer to a lifetime of inner questions, is not there to offer it. This absence creates a subtle but piercing grief, one that cannot be measured by headlines or public sympathy. It is the grief of needing comfort from the person who gave you life and guidance, yet being denied it at the very moment it is most desperately required. The greatest gift. Those who care for Savannah recognize the unique nature of her struggle. The greatest gift her mother can give her now is not advice, strength, or guidance. It is a simple affirmation of love, offered unconditionally and without expectation. Just 3 words, profoundly powerful. I love you. These words would validate her existence beyond performance, achievement, and composure. They would affirm that she has always been enough, just as she is. It is a reminder that the deepest reassurance often comes not from the world, not from recognition, but from the person who first shaped one's understanding of love. Public perception versus private reality. The tragedy is compounded by the contrast between public perception and private reality. Millions admire the grace on display, the calm professionalism, the poise in crisis. Yet the most profound suffering remains unseen. The public eye cannot capture the subtle terror of waiting, the quiet agony of longing for a missing mother, or the lifelong question that persists under all accomplishments. This invisible dimension of pain highlights a universal truth. Appearances can be deceiving, and the full weight of a personal crisis often lies beneath what the world can see or understand. The final layer. At its core, this is a story of layered tragedy. It is not only about a missing mother or the threat to her health. It is about a lifetime of seeking validation, enduring invisible pressure, and managing profound fear with unwavering composure. It is about the silent agony of a daughter who has always performed to earn love, yet still longs for reassurance from the one person whose opinion mattered most. The tragedy is quiet, invisible, and deeply human. A reminder that resilience often hides vulnerability, and strength often coexists with profound, unspoken grief. Conclusion. Waiting for reassurance. The heart of this tragedy is not only the immediate crisis, but the enduring question that has shaped a lifetime. Savannah's story illustrates the intersection of public expectation, personal fear, and the longing for unconditional love. When her mother returns, the hope is that she will hear what she has longed for, affirmation of her worth, independent of achievement or performance. The words, "I love you," would remind her that she has always been enough, that her value is intrinsic, and that the love she has sought for decades has been unwavering. Until that moment, her courage continues to shine in quiet, invisible layers.